Sosagi is the only person who could have committed this crime. Nuh-uh. I only know the true scene of the incident. There was someone else. Another person who was responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Before being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably aware of the possibility already. Very well. In person, if you will. For investigation warranted. Prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing.
Take that!
Well, it's not like there's anyone else to really blame.
Objection!
No! I refuse! The situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb hands me this. At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband. In the court agreement, a minor house fire was happening. What of it? Well, everything would be extremely circumstantial now. But we now know for a fact that she was sitting there. I don't actually recall it. Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
You know what? How about you do testify? I was just scared. What's that? Are you joking? You're saying that you have many of these types of knives? Should be careful here. Then take the stand, juror. Prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Just do it, please. The rain being very dreadful today, let me tell you. It only took 3 whole chapters, but hey, we're here. State your name and occupation. Yes, my name is Joan Garrido, and I'm a juror and such like. Theme of Joan. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh dear. Joni, nothing to worry about. Yeah, you're gonna have to testify together. Wasn't only you in the room that day with that old thing. Well, I think I ought to testify, don't you? Don't worry about that. Hardly notice it. Yes, sir. Former 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. The quiet life. You're not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Well, yes. Quite. Oh my gosh. Calling a juror to a witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. Your recount clearly. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish, can't recall the reason now. Knocked the candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out though, and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place, can't say I noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that body thing in the victim's back wasn't one of ours, you'd have a job proving it, I think. This feels like the final one because there's nothing else. Of course, a veteran such as myself is too aware of every battlefield. You're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. In combat, when focused in areas, such surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This might be a dead end. Okay. The Battle of Garrett. Yes, and they referred to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish.
Hold it!
The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to you. What sort of state of affairs? Hell on earth. Hey, come on! It's common decency not to say things. A likely story. And what transpired next after the multiple blows to the face? Knocked the candlestick over and set fire to the carpet.
Hold it!
And the fire also spread to some of the items of furniture, didn't it? Bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine really. Just so happens that there was some bathwater around that evening, so I slashed about to put it about. Most precarious situation to put yourself in. There is this 3-story house on the west side of the street where the wire is connected yet. Players are always money that they can't get any water at night. Other than that long mustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. Defendant Natsumi, you mean? He receives a stipend for studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen his room? The point is, I was able to douse the fire with water. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Hold it!
Even though the room was on fire, as far as I was concerned, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a suicidal takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. Actually, no, I was thinking that. Everyone's psychic in this game. Was a knife among the items you threw at your husband that day? No, honestly, I don't recall. I feel must point out that I am no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, a garlic, a towel, and a sponge.
Fine.
A napkin.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, sir? Your wife's remark now just brings something to mind. Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker I seem to recall. Ow. When it was aimed, Sun Kang, she landed direct hit with— Oh my god! Please! So John, I would never throw such things at you, obviously. We'll take a look at this then. How do you suppose this happened? As usual, at the time of the onslaught, knocked it clean off with one of her soft projectiles. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. Right. We've never been able to see flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh well. I wonder what we should make of this account.
Objection!
Oh my god. You're the worst poet I've ever seen, Mr. Van Zeeks. No. Every little thing helps. Oh no.
Hold it!
Nothing to say, really. Partial to spar carving, you see, pipes and whatnot, fishing tackle, you know, the sort of thing. It's a passion we both share. I like carve little wooden trinkets too, and then there's my leather work. It's hard to say, we're always losing knives about the place, and we have dozens of the things. They sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Needless to say, I snapped them up. Oh no, Joe, we don't want people thinking I'm some kind of sad. Oh my gosh!
Hold it!
So yeah, no intention of admitting it was your knife, unless we can produce proof. And there's no other credible possibility if Mr. Natsume's incident. You really need to just present that evidence, bro. In countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence, one Strongheart is currently discussing the matter at the Ministry of Justice. I believe we're rapidly approaching an era of scientific methods of investigation. But for now, we can't really say that's useful. What do you think? I think that there's something we don't know, but I think I've actually figured it out. We must find that evidence, boys. If and I did have a bit of skirmish.
Objection!
Okay, let's go.
Objection!
Mr. Garadeb, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? I can ask, but I can't see the Bali thing. You can't? Please call me Dead-Eyed Deb back in the regime, of course. That was some time ago. Let me try and enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I could tell you a B from D and a P from Q, to be honest. He does, Jeremy. That tiny scrap of metal. Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear first be just a tiny scrap, in this fact is a crucial piece of evidence. Oh dear. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garadeb's pipe.
that!
This real knife was found in the victim's back. Look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that's missing. A common issue with the inferior blades are the unsavory street markets. I doubt the tip has suffered a similar fate, now languish somewhere in the spine of the victim. No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is a very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber. You said it exactly what I was thinking! I was hoping you weren't gonna say it. This fragment of metal is a perfect match. Holy... Oh my gosh! This is freaking crazy! Some sort of Eastern sorcery. There's no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. Yes, my lord, the crucial point we have to ask ourselves here, when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garadeb's pipe? At the same way, hand as usual, time of the onslaught, not clean out with one of her soft projectiles she did. Never been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Scared to flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garadeb instead of striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip to break off, of course. Yes, and this is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garadeb's pipe. Yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out the open window.
Objection!
He's like, are you sure that's 100% what happened? Wouldn't an easier explanation be he found an opportunity to stab the victim right then and there and did it? Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach, bottling his arguments. But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked, because you see, it's spoiled. Yes? That's right, you silly little man. Now, Joan, old thing, what are you getting so excited about? Yeah. Yes, it would have hit her for the top of her head. Can we figure out right here, right now? What can we figure out? We simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency, and the theory will still stand. You mustn't worry, Miss Naruhodo. Just caught off guard. And your mind went blank. If the path they were on is indeed correct, then the way will present itself. Okay. Let's go. I figured it out.
Objection!
This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig a bit deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. The knife fell on the victim from above. There's no way that I could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What? Counsel? There's a piece of evidence in the court record that explains this inconsistency. That could explain how the knife fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Gotta save for this one. Gotta save for this one, boys.
Take that!
Oh, I was fucking right! Yes, and understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the crime scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. Yes? It was the police constable that put the book in between her fingers like that. Right, satisfies his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene of the opposite side of the road. That's true. However, as part of this testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? Oh well, because that's how I found it. The victim was already holding the book, so when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. In other words, the victim already picked up the book of her own volition, and clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd be doing much of anything. Why did the victim have that book in her hand? We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Gardev household into the pavement below, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. Yes, Miss Gardev. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Well, I'd look down and I'd pick it up. That's right. The object fell from the room above, the jackknife. That's why it doesn't look like it's a straight stab. It's appeared that Mr. Natsumi, the woman simply collapsed on the floor, in the darkened fog. He didn't see the knife falling on her at all. And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there was no culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. And the whole jury's at a standstill. Because they're like, what the hell? She's saying to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events have left her in an especially flustered state. She will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. No, not Miles Edgeworth. He's someone else. Some good news, however. I have just word from the hospital where the victim's being treated. Her condition's improving steadily. No, the case is gonna continue because she's gonna be like, oh, I was talking to someone else. Most people thought that. Poor Sosuke-san, his imagination really has got the better of him. Well, anyway, I think you're not guilty. Yes, my lord? As former of the jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion. I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know? Of course. Doesn't mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work. I say, I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I?
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
I hereby pronounce you fucking guilty. You fucking idiots. You may now kiss the bride. Now, free man, once more, it is my hope that you will continue further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. On the next episode, it's sus. So Saki gets. Thank you, councils. Course adjourned. Of course. Is there even one? Yes, yes, you're free, sir. I mean, as I said before, just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings. From high up windows, I see them looking down at me, laughing. Gave my gloom to boot. I stood firm behind that baronial bench before all the babbling British. Bowed to the bitter end. Behold the best barrister ever born. It'll be a wonderful anecdote to recount my old friends back in Japan. Oh my god. The disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Josh, I will begin presently, Mr. Naruto, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's just, we just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain? Oh my god! It's you! The gate detective Herlock Sholmes! Oh, what? Who are you? The Natsumi, the man you'd arrested? No, the man I got arrested. Previous encounters had taken place in the gloom. Either bleak lodgings or the prison cell. So he placed that curious face. My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Had she been taken to the hospital more urgently, I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. It was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do very bad about how I behaved. Priceless. I am very sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. On the not bright side. What do you mean, Miss Natsumi? We'll be alright, Miss Natsumi. Reaper appears trying to make trouble. I'll protect you. Hiya! No, no, no! And Van Zeeks appears right here. He's like, hello. Being turned in my head. Mr. Susato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. Huh, what? He has not passed yet, so we've arrived in London. And now does feel we finally found our feet. You're accommodating the hotel at present, are you not? That's right. Find lodgings before it bankrupts us. Yeah, we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget's exhausted. Well then, you can take my lodgings! Oh, yeah. Well, like some windows. One mixed up with a floor, ceiling, and walls. Great. And of course, I'll be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirits. Oh, evil spirits? Or suffocate you while you sleep? It's an infallible wake-up call. We'll think about that. Yeah, I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? It's kind of crowded. Knowing this very morning at a price. Now it's clean the room as we speak. Just come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of. Simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to lodging with the great detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words. Suggesting we look elsewhere is out there. Iris, prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsumi. I insist. The gay detective Sherlock Holmes. I'd be honored. Wonderful! Then I'll go out and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shan't take long. Somebody's happy. Locum, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume. Ooh. And on that end, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home. 221B Baker Street. Yeah, it's a pretty comfy attic. Yes, Kazuma. Hello, it is I, Kazuma. Ah, just kidding. It is me. The regular detective Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. Not allowed to say the other name. Very own office. Ha ha! Those are precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry, it was a glorious place full of wonder, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights casts the darkest of shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So once again, Senor Hoda. Come to London. Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came. I saw and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it.
Hi there, this is TNT telling you that this video is brought to you by my streams at twitch.tv/TNT3Rays, where I stream gameplay every night. See you soon.